Welcome back to our friends and visitors, and thank you so much again for joining us for our English News Edition. I'm Daniel Cook, your host, reading a translated version of the top stories by the Ora News journalists. The EU Progress Report on Albania will be made public on October 15th, and Ora News sources are saying that Brussels will point out the need to finalize the justice reform. It seems like Albania's aspirations to begin negotiations for EU membership may be held hostage by the failure to complete the justice reform on time. Our sources tell us that the report will contain a positive overall evaluation of Albania's progress in the obligations so far, but it will not be recommending that the negotiations for EU membership begin. The government's commitment, as articulated by Prime Minister Rama, was to vote on the justice reform within October, but once again, the political class was not able to set aside their differences and complete the task in a timely manner. Despite the work that has been done by the majority and the opposition, the constitutional amendments that are needed for the justice reform will not be voted on until December. The European Union is expected to evaluate the work done so far, but its request will continue to be for comprehensive progress in the justice reform. Albania's progress report will be published in Brussels, and this time it will be presented in Albania by the Director for EU Enlargement, Christian Danielson, and not by the EU ambassador as it was before. The international markets are favorable at the moment for Albania to issue its Eurobond because the interest rates in the foreign markets have decreased. The government is expecting to issue a Eurobond in the coming days with a value of 300 to 500 million euro. The experts say that the interest rates in international markets have decreased to 5.5%. Albania's economic experts are skeptical about the way that the government will use the money, if it does in fact receive 500 million euro. They are also concerned about repaying the Eurobond since the Albanian economy is consistently stagnant, a fact that is reflected in the state budget. They point out that both exports and imports have decreased, along with consumption, which demonstrates the poor condition of the economy. Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance is holding meetings with the foreign investors in some of the European capitals to present the opportunities of Albania and to peddle the Eurobond. Days ago, the Minister of Finance declared that tax-paying businesses with off-the-book goods have until December 31st to declare them. This deadline was created in order to come to the aid of the businesses, but it seems that it is being misunderstood. Many business owners think that their items will not be confiscated until December 31st, but they have not understood that they must declare their items that do not have sales receipts. When the small business sector put up a strong objection to the ruling that their off-the-book goods could be confiscated by the government, they were given the lenient deadline of December 31st to declare these goods and avoid confiscation. However, they still see this as being unfair because their items were bought long ago, before the government's operation against informality was launched. The Minister of Transportation, Edmond Hadjanasto, has presented a new package of measures against informality in the transportation industry. The package will affect all intercity transport, including taxis. The minister made the following introduction today. It is necessary to start respecting a standard that already exists in our legislation, with the aim to regulate the intercity transportation. Taxi drivers should know that the taxi meters must be used. They must not establish a flat rate price, but charge customers on the basis of the service provided. Minister Hadjanasto announced that certifying vehicle service locations will also be among the measures introduced in the package. The certification of vehicle service points is important, he said. The performance of the operators is important for the safety of the citizens. Those who work at service points must be certified mechanics. The quality of this service must be safe, declared the transport minister. The Czech ambassador to Albania has denied that her country used EU veto rights to condition the agreement with the energy distribution company ČEZ. Ambassador Tomosova made the following statements today. I don't think that the main problem is CHEZ. Being a foreign diplomat, I don't want to comment on an internal issue, but the rule of law and an independent judiciary are very important for the progress and prosperity of a country. The relations between CHEZ and the Albanian government have been supported by the World Bank and the European Commission. When we give a country candidate status, we judge them by their reforms. We are waiting for the progress report that will be issued by the European Commission, and then we will discuss it. The Czech ambassador made her comments from Elbasan, where she was attending a project for abused children funded by the Czech Republic. The vice chairman of the Socialist Movement for Integration, Mr. Uli Manjani, has declared that the CHEZ issue may have a high cost for the Albanian people and the Albanian state. In a media outlet from the SMI headquarters, Manjani said that the victimization of the DIA company is intentional. He made the following comments. The CHEZ issue may really have a high cost for the Albanian state and for the interests of the citizens, because the mafia-style politicization of the issue was meant to victimize the DIA company before the arbitrage. In cases like these, where the parties use the victimization tactic, usually the one that is punished the most is the state. This is being done to create the idea that DIA is being threatened and victimized by the state, a theory that is seriously damaging the interests of Albania, he said. Mr. Manjani called the prosecution to conduct a speedy investigation into the case and reiterated the SMI position in favor of an international investigation. The 85th National Day of Saudi Arabia was celebrated in Tirana today. To commemorate the anniversary, the Saudi Arabian embassy organized a special reception for the dignitaries, politicians, ambassadors, economists, and media representatives. In his speech, Ambassador Salem highlighted the excellent relations between the two countries. On this special day, I am pleased to express my appreciation for the relationship between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Republic of Albania. Based on our mutual agreement, the relationship has grown more excellent since it was established. I want to underline our commitment to pursuing an ambitious agenda to expand and deepen the cooperation in all areas of mutual interest, said the ambassador. The country of Saudi Arabia has made numerous investments in Albania, primarily in the field of infrastructure. The Albania-Serbia football match on October 8th is captivating the attention of the Albanian public. The match will be played in the Elbasan Stadium, and the safety of the match is every bit as important as the results of the game, which is a qualifying game for Euro 2016. The focus of the Albanian police is to maintain order and security and to avoid any incidents arising from the high profile of the match. There will be elevated and detailed security measures to ensure safety, including extra protection for the Serbian football players during their stay here in Albania. The players and technical staff of the Serbian national team will arrive at the Mother Teresa Airport on Thursday afternoon at 6. The highway that connects the airport with the capital will be completely blocked for all vehicles, and the Serbian team bus will be accompanied by a police detail. Once in Tirana, the technical staff, players, and members of the delegation will be accommodated in one of the most popular hotels in the capital before traveling to Elbasan 3 hours before the game. The transportation of the team is considered to be the most dangerous by the Albanian authorities, who have assigned 350 police officers the task of protecting the Serbs and avoiding any possible targeting of their vehicles. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our news for this evening. Thank you for tuning in. Please join us again at the same time tomorrow for more translated news in English. Thanks, and have a great night.